Get the heading moving to merit, or something similar. Okay. So, I'm going to do the main part of the merit level with you tomorrow, but the first part I want to look at is moving a little bit further when you are just going through analysing your time series graph. At a merit level, you should be doing some research to see if you can explain any of the features. Okay? So you see an increasing trend. Can you do any research to tell me about that? You see a pattern. Can you do any research or any explanation? There should be a little bit of this at an achieved level, but there should be more research at a merit level. The key one where it's probably most relevant, though the trend line and the seasonal variation, probably not heaps of research, unless you see a sudden change in trend. Can you research why that happened? Maybe you can't, and you can't find anything. But the key one that I would definitely expect you to be doing some research on is any unusual values. There's something unusual in the graph. Why? If you think back to the bivariate data, you had, I saw lots of people do this, and said this point here is an outlier, point number 48, because it's higher up the graph than I'd expect it to be. And why? Some of you did it well. What town was it? Do some research about that town. Can you find out, in fact, if I remember rightly, it was, I can't even remember what it was actually. I can't remember what it was. But there was lots of crime in that town because there were lots of tourists when you did some researching. And so although it was quite wealthy, it also had lots of tourists, and that was possibly one of the factors. I can't remember which.
Wasn't it the house thing, like the nice? Oh. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, no, it was different suburbs though,
yeah.
And this was the suburb.
Yeah.
But you're not going to be getting a merit if you haven't done some research into it. So if we're looking at a time series graph, and it looks like that, you need to be researching what happened in this time period that might have led to that. Okay? If I remember right, did I talk about Rena with you guys when we introduced this topic? Yeah? And how ice creams or sales on the Mount went right down one summer. And if you were looking, that sales at the Mount, they did that particular year. And when you look at the year, you would find, you kind of Google 2011, I think, give or take, Tauranga or Mount Maunganui, you'd find the Rena disaster came up. And that might be a reason for explaining that. Now you're showing good level investigation, okay? So it's just taking a little step further. At an achieved level, you're telling me what the trend is, you may be giving a suggestion. You're telling me what the pattern is, you may be giving a suggestion. But at merit level, you're doing a little bit more research to see what else you can find about it. Okay? And if you can't find anything, excuse me, if you can't find anything, don't just put research in for the sake of it. You're only putting in relevant research, but outliers is the key one where you're likely to be able to find something, I would say. Okay, make sense? Mm-hmm. And that's about all I need to say. We'll make a short note on it, but cool. Okay. At a merit level, we should be doing more than superficial research into the features of our time series graph. Particularly any unusual features. E.g. I'm going to label, I don't really care how you label that. I'm labeling this one 2010, and then 2011, 2012, 2000, and that's good enough. I'm not going to bother labeling it more than that. And I'm just going to put the y-axis shop sales at Mount Maunganui. Maybe we should, oh, it's too late now. I was going to say we should probably have got the year right, shouldn't we? I should have researched what year. Oh, I was 1 year out. It was 2011. If you want to make that correct, put that at 2011. It's just an example, so you don't need to worry. We're possibly talking almost an excellent level here, but if you did research into the increasing trend, in fact, you could research all three factors here. What is leading to the seasonal variation in the pattern? You will know this already. You won't need to research it. But what is leading to the seasonal pattern? Summer and winter. The Mount is a summer holiday destination. Yeah? Cruise ships arrive here, so there's a massive influx of visitors over the summer. Okay? What about what's leading? You should, if you think carefully, what's leading to the upward trend of those sales? Why is that likely to be happening at the Mount? Why though? Probably, I wouldn't think you could attribute the increasing sale. This isn't actually ice cream sales, this is just any shop sales in general. Why do you think, and admittedly this is a made up graph, but I'm pretty confident that's what it would look like if we looked at several shops across the Mount. What's happening in the Mount and Tauranga in recent years?
Maybe in the warm months more visitors, like tourists.
So you may find research that suggests more tourists are coming to the area. That's definitely possible. Research might show that. What else?
Is there more accommodation for people that come stay?
Possibly. I would have said you've just got an increasing population. What's happened to the population of Tauranga in the Mount in the last 10 years? It's just steadily increasing. Maybe the last 5 years even. It's really so. Maybe this would have looked more like that. Yeah, I'm guessing here, and this is made up, but a little bit of research would suggest that maybe the increasing trend is because of the increasing the increasing population of the area. All the new houses being built down in Papamoa. The population of Papamoa, the population of Tauranga has gone from 100,000 to 140,000 or something. So it's almost doubled in size. And then we research this one and say it was the arena. So all three of those, a little bit of research, you should be able to put them in contextual understanding. You may not need to research. The summer and winter, you probably all knew. That's okay. You might need to do a bit of research about that trend. Okay? The main one I want here, what happened? Research would show this was probably due to the